Hi there, this is Martin, and I just wanted to take a little bit of time and show you a trick that I do that really helps me out whenever I am creating content. If you're doing any kind of internet marketing or blogging or anything like that, there are days when it's just near impossible to figure out exactly how you're going to come up with all of the different content that you need to have to fill blogs. I know I personally have two different blogs that I write on, and there are days when it's just a pain in the neck trying to figure out something to write on each one so that I can keep putting fresh content on my sites. And then I started doing videos. And so now it's all of a sudden I've got videos and two blogs, and it's just becoming so difficult to keep everything together that I thought, there's got to be a better way. In case you haven't realized this yet, I'll just make an admission now. I'm a little bit lazy. So if I can find a way to do the work once and use it 3 or 4 times, you betcha that's for me, because why do 3 or 4 times of work when you can do it once? So I'm just going to show you how I do it, or basically what I'm doing is I'm going to tell you how I do it, and then down below in the links, you'll see links to two of my other sites where I demonstrate the writing end of things that I do here. And the last thing, well, I'll explain to you in a little bit. But everything starts off with the idea. First off, you've got to have an idea of what you want to talk about, what you want to say, what kind of message you want to get out there. And personally, I start with the video because it's the easiest for me right now. And you sit down, you get an idea, and you talk to the camera. You say what you need to say, whatever you want to say, whatever's on your mind, and then you go on from there. The next step that you do is you need to do some writing. So you have to choose one of your two. Well, I choose one of my two blogs to be the primary for this one, and I try to write a good article, 3, 4, 500 words. I don't want to be too much, but at the same time, you don't want it to be too little, as long as you get the idea across. Now, you'll have a lot of different people telling you a lot of different things about what you should write and how you should write it, and how you should SEO this, and how you should research keywords, and how you don't want to have duplicate content, and how how you got to have at least 500 words on the article, and how your article has to be high quality work. And I'll tell you, a lot of that is just waste your time. The truth is, if you really want to, you can do some SEO work. Research a topic, find a keyword, and then build your video and your article around those keywords. But you don't really even have to do that if you at least have something that would be interesting to people. And that's really where it comes down to. And that's also where it comes down to the reason people want 400 and 500 word articles and original content, is because the entire point of this is you want to capture the reader's attention. And if you have a well-written article that people are interested in, then 400 or 500 words is going to keep somebody on your page for several minutes while they read the content. And that's what you want. You want to keep eyes on your website long enough for Google to count that as a visitor that has consumed some of your content, and they consider that a happy visitor, and for whomever is on your website to see enough of the advertising that's going on around them to perhaps find something that they're interested in. That's where video really comes in handy, because video, you can share it all kinds of places. As a matter of fact, you could be seeing this video on YouTube, or you could be seeing this video on 1 or 2 of my blogs, or you could be getting a link to this video in an email invitation. So that's where I can use this one video and things that stem from this one video into 4 different pieces of content. And here's how I do it. Do the video, and I write one good article, 300-400 words, sometimes 200, depends on how lazy I feel that day. Then I post that article, and I embed the video on that post. Then what I do is I take a little part of that article, throw it into another Word program, write up an email message that I can send to my subscribers. And believe me, if you're marketing online, and you don't have an email list, you don't have subscribers, then you are doing something wrong. Get an email list, start talking with people. That's all you can do. That's the way this thing works, is communication. I'm talking to you, you're listening to me. Maybe you found this because you got my email and you followed the link to this video. Maybe you found this on YouTube, and maybe you found this in my blogs. But either way, I'm now using all of my work in several different sections without having to go through and come up with a whole new idea, without having to do all that work over and over and over again. And if you see this on YouTube, you're not likely to have seen it on my blogs, and you probably didn't get this from my email. If you got this from my email, you most likely wouldn't have found it on YouTube. So I'm also using all of my different avenues of traffic to get to different people who would see it here but not there. So it really does give you just a much better coverage for your work, and it's just a little bit more effort to get that much more work out of it. So what we've done now is we've got the video, we've got the major article that's written on my blog, we have an email message that goes out to my list, and then the last thing I do is I curate my own content, which if you're not familiar with content curation, basically content curation, simply put, is you find somebody else who's written an article, you take quotes from that article, you then comment on those quotes, and you put that on your website, on your blog, with a link back to the original article, and that gives you content for your blog. I'm not going to get into whether that's a good or a bad thing. I'm not going to get into whether that's ethical or unethical. There are different people that have different points of view on that, and now, personally, I don't like stealing other people's content. Now, I'm not going to say if you take a sentence here or a sentence there and then you add your own thoughts on that and then you link back to the original content that you're doing anything wrong or that you're stealing anybody's content. But there are a lot of people that just do not like anyone taking any of their work online and posting it on their site. So I've never really been a big fan of content curation just for that reason. I know a lot of people do it, and I know that they do a really good job of it. And you know, the truth is, some of the big major news sites, you know, Huffington Post, for instance, they do a lot of content curation. They find a story on another page, and they grab that story, they give a little bit of that story, and they give their own take on that story, and then they put a link back to the original story, and then that's their story. It's kind of recycling news, and that's really what you're doing, and that's what this fourth step is just recycling your own content, which kills two birds with one stone. It gets you a chance to grab a whole new article based on your original article that you've just taken bits and pieces from and then added your commentary to those bits and pieces. You can choose to embed the video on there if you want or not. I generally embed the video just because people watching the video takes longer on my site, and that's really what I want, is eyes on my site. But when I'm done with this, I can spend an hour doing my video, writing my content, writing my email, putting it all up. And I've taken one idea and I've turned it into 4 individual pieces of content, and I don't even have to worry about getting a duplicate content slap from Google, because both articles that I've written are enough different that they're not duplicate content. Even though I wrote them, and I could copy my own content over there and put it wherever I want, perfectly fine for me to put my article up at as many places as I want. But that's not going to help anything, because Google's really only going to count one of them and just ignore the rest. But if you do it this way, what you've done is you've taken your original article, and with just a very little bit of extra work, because to be honest, it doesn't need to be a lot, 2 or 3 paragraphs, and you can throw that up as a curated content with the video on it, and that'll be enough to be different from your main content, your main article, and the video will keep people on the site watching it. Hey, at this point, like I said, I just kind of run out of things to say. I can't sit there and go, okay, I've got 4 places that I need to put content, and it is difficult to come up with 4 new ideas on demand. Snap your fingers and happen. So I just decided, I would recycle. I mean, it's an ecologically sound thing to do anyhow. But I hope you like the idea. I hope it helps you. I hope it gives you ideas. Now, I'm telling you this because this is what I do. You don't have to do it this way. You can think up your own way of doing what I do. Maybe you would just take and have a transcript of your video, and you want to put that up as an article. I mean, that's an idea. That's not something that I do, but hey, you could do that. A lot of places will do a transcript of a video for, I think 5, or you can get it for $5, and then you get that a couple days later. Boom, you put up the transcript. That's a whole web page. You curate the transcript over to another one, and you've got, you can have half a dozen different places running content off of one good idea. So I hope this helps you. Look down in the comments section. You'll see the links to my other blogs where I have written my article and where I've curated my article. I'll also put a link down there if you want to get on my my mailing list, where you become a subscriber and you'll get this message in your email eventually. But there are a lot of other things that I send out, and then anytime I come up with an idea or something that I think might help, hey, I try to spread it along. I hope you found this helpful. You can comment, you can click the like button, you can share this with other people. Hey, if you want to curate this content, you can grab the embed code or the link code, and you can put it wherever you want to put it. I just hope that that you get some use out of it, because I know that it has really helped me increase my productivity, and believe me, that needed some help. Hey, it's getting long, and so I hope you all have a great day, and I will catch you later.